Testing.
Testing.
Wow, mashallah, what a crowd tonight. Please take your seats, and we're gonna begin our program shortly.
They're slowly sitting down. Should I start saying it? Oh, my mom's.
Do you want to do a test?
No, we're good.
We should, before we begin, just, why don't you you can even repeat what I just said.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. We are on a tight schedule, so we can please find our seats. We're going to get started in a minute. I'm too nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it shows that our mics are working.
Yes. And their purpose. Where's Sister Fauzia?
I'm sure she's here. We'll just give it 2 minutes. People are trying to. Can you Yeah, okay, do you want us to begin?
Yeah, there's no argument. Just say it.
Yeah. You got this, Monis.
Let's get started.
Wow, it's so amazing to see everyone enjoying each other's company. And if we could please be seated so that we can begin our program shortly.
We're sitting down. I think we can start. Do you think?
30 seconds.
Do you want him to shut the fuck up?
Oh.
No, are you trying to get him to be quiet and sit down? Tell them to have the doors. Can you contact whoever's in the back to close the doors? Like the people that are at the doors?
Close the doors.
Because so that people.
We can have the doors closed in the back, also, so we can get started, inshallah.
I'm gonna go tell them.
Yeah, go tell them, inshallah. Thank you. Sheila, I think we should just get started then, because I think we're running late on time.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Oh, that was weak.
Can I get assalamu alaikum? Welcome to the inaugural Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation Gala. My name is Monis Khan.
And I am Nadia Malik.
And we are so excited to be your MCs this evening.
Tonight is a celebration of the important work the WMCF is doing on behalf of the Muslim community here in Wisconsin. We are joined today by local elected officials, a fearless scholar, and a courageous Congresswoman.
Yeah, give it up for our speakers. Wow. Wow. What a program. But I have to say, and it's not just because I grew up here, but the most important people in this room are the brothers and sisters from our community. Because by being here, by supporting the WMCF, it's clear that we understand the power of our voice. And I'm not talking about the power of our voice when we're yelling at our kids or rooting for our favorite sports teams or swearing at that Illinois driver who just cut us off on the highway. You know what we call them. My wife said I couldn't say it, but you know what we call them. I'm talking about the power of our voice to make a difference.
We all know what's at stake. We live in an upside-down world where the establishment sees the support of human rights and dignity either as a political adversity or liability. As a psychotherapist myself, I have been trained to keep politics outside of the therapy room. But how can I when our well-being in and of itself is political?
Brothers and sisters, our distinguished guests, with respect, we can see with our own eyes that our constitutional rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, due process, these rights, they mean nothing when genocide is bipartisan policy in our country.
And that's why our voices are so important. Because in this time of chaos, we have a responsibility to articulate to those in power the common sense, people-centered values that emanate from our beautiful religion, Islam.
Subhanallah. And you know, as a Wisconsin sports fan, I hate to admit it, but we only need to look to our neighbors in Michigan and Minnesota to see the power of what's possible, how to win when we work together and are organized to make this a better country for everyone.
The estimated 70,000 Muslims in Wisconsin represent the second largest religious group in this state.
Wow. Wow. Think about it for a second. Think about it. That number, 70,000 Muslims in Wisconsin. 70,000 is the margin of victory for state and national elections that will decide the history of our country. You know, my kids, they're already inheriting excessive facial hair and a predisposition to diabetes and hypertension. You know, I'm saving up for college and laser hair removal. They deserve, our kids all deserve to inherit a better country, a better quality of life than we were afforded.
Your generous support of the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation through tonight's silent auction, live auction, and the cards on your table will allow the foundation to continue its vital work building bridges and securing a meaningful seat at the table.
And in that spirit, we are going to begin tonight's program in the best way with the recitation of the Holy Quran in Arabic. And I'd like to invite Brother Mustafa Zeybek to the stage. Thank you.
Oh, he's coming.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين واعلموا أن فيكم رسول الله لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم ولكن الله حبب إليكم الإيمان وزينه في قلوبكم وكره إليكم الكفر والفسوق والعصيان أولئك هم الراشدون فضلا من الله ونعمه والله عليم حكيم وإن طائفتان من المؤمنين اقتتلوا فأصلحوا بينهما فإن بغت إحداهما على الأخرى فقاتلوا التي تبغي حتى تفيء إلى أمر الله فإن فاءت فأصلحوا بينهما بالعدل وأقسطوا إن الله يحب المقسطين إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. صدق العظيم.
Wow, what a beautiful recitation. Thank you so much, Brother Mustafa Zeybek. And now I'd love to invite Brother Hamza Zubairi to the stage for the English translation.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good evening. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. O believers, if an evildoer brings you any news, verify it so you do not harm people unknowingly. Becoming regretful for what you have done. Perfect, thank you. And keep in mind that God's messenger is still in your midst. If he were to yield to you in many matters, you would surely suffer the consequences. But God has endeared faith to you, making it appealing in your hands, and he has made disbelief, rebelliousness, and disobedience detestable to you. Those are the ones rightly guided. This is a bounty and a blessing from God, and God is all-knowing, all-wise. And if two groups of believers fight against each other, then make peace between them. But if one of them transgresses against the other, then fight against the transgressing group until they are willing to submit to the rule of God. If they do so, then make peace between both groups in all fairnesses and act justly. Surely God loves those who uphold justice. The believers are but one brotherhood, so make peace between your brothers, and be mindful of God so that you may be shown mercy. O believers, do not let some men ridicule others, for they may be better than them. Nor let some women ridicule other women, for they may be better than them. Do not defame one another, nor do not call each other offensive nicknames. How evil is it to act rebelliously after having faith? And whoever does not repent, it is they who are the true wrongdoers. O believers, avoid many suspicions, for indeed some suspicions are sinful. And do not spy, nor backbite one another. Would any of you like to eat the flesh of their dead brother? You would despise that. And fear God. Surely God is the acceptor of repentance and the most merciful. O humanity, indeed, we created you from a male and a female, and made you into peoples and tribes, so that you may get to know one another. Surely the most noble of you in the sight of God is the most righteous among you. God is truly all-knowing and all-aware. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Mustafa and Brother Hamza, for beginning our evening. Thank you, Brother Mustafa and Brother Hamza, for the beautiful recitation and the English translation. Now I invite you to please take a personal moment to make a dua or a prayer for the genocide that is happening in Gaza right now. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. All right. Before I hand it off to my co-MC, I just want to give a polite reminder that there are speakers up here, so please, if you do want to have any side conversations, you can go out in the hallway, but if you are in here, we want to be attentive and respectful to all speakers. Thank you.
And it is my honor to introduce our board president of the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation, Dr. Mushir Hassan. Dr. Hassan is a respected physician and community leader in Wisconsin. He's a mentor, he's a coach. He does so many things. I was telling my dad, Dr. Hassan, I was telling him, does he have 30 hours in his day when we all got 24? I have no idea how he's able to make such an impact every day on this community in so many ways. He has dedicated his career not only to advancing healthcare, but also to strengthening civic engagement and empowering Muslim voices in the public sphere. Through his leadership at the WMCF, he has worked tirelessly to ensure that our community is represented, engaged, and making a positive impact across the state. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mushir Hassan.
Thank you, Monis. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to thank you all for coming and attending this very important event. As Monis said, my name is Mushir Hassan. I am a physician here in town. I currently serve as the Chief Medical Officer for a local regional health plan. I want to tell you a little bit about the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation. WMCF's mission is to empower and amplify the voices of the Wisconsin Muslim community through civic engagement, research, and advocacy, and to foster a more inclusive and equitable society for all Wisconsinites. If you were listening to the translation of those Quranic verses, that was through and through present in the translation of the verses that you just heard. Empower and amplify. How do we do that? With civic engagement and building bridges, also referred to in those verses. Research and policy development, as well as advocacy. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Our platinum sponsor, the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Alliance. Our gold sponsor, my friends who are on the board of the Palestine Student Scholarship Fund. And to our many silver and bronze sponsors that are in your booklet that I would strongly encourage you to support as businesses, because they are taking the lead in supporting this organization to make sure that your voice is amplified. I'd also encourage you, if you get a chance after I'm done speaking, check out the silent auction just to make sure that you've got an item that you can help to support these businesses as well as support this cause. I'm very grateful to the WMCA for their leadership years ago in setting the stage for tonight. My thanks especially to Nahid Arshad, Avais Khalil, Uthman Atta, Will Perry, and especially Janan Najib for laying the groundwork for this collective advocacy. If you could please take a moment, stand up and be recognized. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. The WMCA was formed to amplify the voices of the Wisconsin Muslim community with engagement, candidate education and endorsement, and lobbying. Through these efforts, we learned early on that a policy and research think tank arm was needed. The WMCF serves as this educational foundation to do this research, policy development, and foundational support. We are a 501c3 nonprofit whose goal is education and building bridges with dialogue, information, and outreach. Our sister organization is the WMCA. A number of folks asked me tonight, hey, what's the WMCA, what's the WMCF? The WMCA is our lobbying and candidate evaluation arm that helps for advocacy with our legislators and can be involved politically. You are here tonight to support the WMCF, a policy think tank, educational arm that helps to make sure we're better informed about the voices of the Muslim community and what our community needs, wants, and desires. I want to give thanks to my outstanding board, as well as our outstanding executive director, Fauzia Qureshi, and the Gala planning team for putting this event together. If I could ask my board members to please stand up as I call your names. Dr. Maksud Khan, Dr. Farhat Abbas Khan, Sister Sheila Badwan, Brother Saeed Hassan, and Sister Sarah Ghazi Muradi. I couldn't be happier to work with such an energized and engaged board. So thank you all for your service, and it's a pleasure to work with you. I want to take a moment to ask all of you, how can you be more engaged? There's 500 people in the room tonight. I would ask all of you in the next year to please set a goal to be more passionate about volunteering in the community with an organization that you are passionate about. It may be helping over at the Ronald McDonald House. It may be to really do something for the unhoused. It may be to help with the immigrant communities that we have in our state. But find a passion and please volunteer on a regular basis. If we can do this, we will have 500 voices in 500 rooms that we don't have right now. I need your help to combat misinformation with a focus on education. It is pronounced acetaminophen. I happen to be married to the most beautiful pharmacist in the room, by the way. But we should also make sure that our students coming out of Wisconsin schools understand the difference between causation and correlation. How can you do that? You need to focus on, when you go home tonight, asking, are my fifth graders reading at a fifth grade level? And can my eighth graders do algebra? Those two simple things are very important for every person in this room to ask of their school districts, because that is directly related to your future success in life. Shout out to the Elmbrook School District for coming in #1 again this year. Wes, I see you. I also encourage you to speak up about cuts to programs that help poverty, such as Medicaid. Poverty is associated with more years of lost life than smoking and obesity combined. Let me say that again. Poverty is associated with more years of lost life than smoking and obesity combined. Yet here we are, as a country, debating cutting funds for childhood immunization while not blinking an eye, sending bombs overseas to kill children who look like me. Astaghfirullah. Please use this event to donate to our important work. I ask you to become energized tonight to use your time, your talent, and your treasure to help improve Wisconsin. Be sure to have some of that treasure saved, though, for our silent auction and our live auction coming up. But thank all of you for coming tonight. May Allah bless each and every one of you. Jazakallah.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Hassan. And what a beautiful evening it is tonight, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? Can we give it up for all the staff who helped make this event possible? The Pfister Hotel. I mean, this is a pretty special place. It is a first of its kind event here in the Muslim community. I've never seen anything like this before. And so I'm so grateful to each and every one of the sponsors that Dr. Mushir referred to, who put on this event and helped make this a reality. We have a little video that we'd like to play so that you all can know the great work that they do and how they supported us this evening.
There are a lot of business names up there, so please make sure that you saw one, and inshallah you can go visit them and support our local businesses, because we have a duty to also support our local Muslim brothers and sisters here. It is now my honor to introduce to you a dynamic leader and advocate for civic engagement in our community. Please welcome Fauzia Qureshi, Executive Director of the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation. Fauzia is not only leading this organization, but also helped establish the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation, the organization's C3 arm, which focuses on community development, education, and social impact initiatives across Wisconsin. She brings over 15 years of experience in leadership, program development, and community empowerment. Fauzia has proven track record of successfully planning, developing, and implementing programs that serve underserved and minority populations, managing budgets, and supervising staff. Under her leadership, the foundation has launched initiatives to promote civic participation, foster community collaboration, and advocate for positive social change. Fauzia's passion for social justice and community empowerment continues to make meaningful difference in the lives of Wisconsinites. And I'm going to say this, I know her myself, she has really impacted my own as well. I had to put a plug in for you. Please join me in welcoming Fauzia Qureshi to the stage.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining us. Peace be upon you all. Good evening, and thank you. On behalf of the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation, it is truly my honor to welcome you to our first annual gala for Building Bridges for a Brighter Future. Thank you. I want to begin by thanking our incredible board members, our gala committee, and our sponsors, our silent auction donors, and all of you in this room tonight. Thank you so much. I want to give out another plug to the special gala committee, in particular, who poured countless number of hours to make this event happen. Thank you so much. Please give them a round of applause. And on a personal note, I really want to thank my family who are here tonight for their endless support, their patience, their encouragement. Without them, I could not do this work. So thank you to my family. Yes, thank you. So the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation, as Dr. Mushir actually mentioned, was created to really serve as a home for civic education, leadership development, cultural programming, and of course, research. We recognized the need, a space where our community's voices could be nurtured, amplified, and equipped to engage meaningful with the wider community. We are not just an organization, we are a movement, one that ensures Muslims in Wisconsin are not only seen, but are also shaping the future of our state. So this past year, our work, we've continued our Wisconsin Muslim Survey, now in its third year, which is amazing, gathering data that's giving our community stronger with decision makers and policymakers, many who are in this room tonight. So I thank the electeds as well for being here. We've also led the Muslim Heritage Month celebrations across libraries, coffee houses, and community centers. Created our first Ramadan toolkit, a resource sent to every school administrator in Wisconsin to support Muslim students during Ramadan, which is also really helpful. I got great feedback from the administrators. Hosted cultural and educational events from Muslim Minds to Evening in Palestine events as well that showcase the richness of our traditions. We've also invested in youth leadership, launching university fellows program in 6 different universities. So last year we actually had 6 university fellows which did amazing work with Get Out the Vote. And again, we're going to continue that with your support. We also hold free monthly workshops providing education on critical issues like healthcare access, Islamophobia, and even civil rights, so our community can be informed and prepared. And again, this is just the beginning. So tonight's theme, Building Bridges, speaks to our mission. It is about creating spaces where we learn from one another, we celebrate our diversity, and we find common ground to solve the challenges we face. In a world where division too often dominates the headlines, our task is clear. We must be building bridges, or bridge builders, sorry. Thank you. So looking forward to WMCF, we've committed to expanding our research and data efforts so policymakers hear Muslim voices, growing our leadership development programs, equipping youth with and community leaders with the skills they need to lead and serve, and deepening our cultural and interfaith initiatives so that bridges of understanding continue to expand across Wisconsin. Friends, tonight is about celebration, but it's also about commitment. We need your support to continue this work, whether through volunteering, purchasing our lovely silent auction items outside again, do it after I speak at least. You're not just, and also even distributing there's donation cards and pens on the table, please, you can use those as well. So you're investing in a future where Wisconsin Muslims are engaged, empowered, and united with the wider community. So thank you again, and together we're not just building bridges, we are walking across them hand in hand toward a brighter future. Thank you. Now, I want to show a video from our governor of Wisconsin. So we would like to play that video now. Thank you. He's given us a personal message, and I really appreciate that, and also we'll play the video. So here we go. Right now. Here he comes, I think, just about to show up on the screen. He's coming. Thank you for being patient. We appreciate you all. We're getting there. Okay. One minute. Thank you for your patience. Hope everyone is enjoying their meal. Thank you again to the Pfister team for your hard work and dedication. We really appreciate you. Please give them a round of applause. Again, thank you so much. They're very on top of it. Here we go. Here's our video from the governor. Wow. Here he comes with the sound. And there's the subtitles on there, so. Oh. Thank you to the governor for speaking. He was speaking in the video. He's not speaking right now. I think there's no event that without technical difficulties, it wouldn't be an event without them. So we appreciate these little technical difficulties and our patience for you all. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Okay, I want to go to
Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation. Governor Tony Evers here. Thank you for inviting me to share this message with all of you.
Okay. He was really wanting to come, and he really missed this event. We missed seeing him. He was very happy about all the work that we're doing. And I'm going to move on to the next part of our program. But we appreciate the governor's message. He actually did a fabulous job, and again, thank you so much for that. And it's now my honor to introduce our featured speaker, Professor Khaled Beydoun. Professor Beydoun, please give him a round of applause. Please give a round of applause. He is amazing.
Share this message with all of you for WMCF's first annual Gala. Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation does outstanding work to build bridges to uplift, engage communities throughout the state and to amplify Muslim voices, most especially Muslim youth. And through innovative research and dedicated advocacy, WMCF is on the front lines of combating Islamophobia, bullying, and hate, and promoting cultural understanding and representation. And while also working to strengthen our democracy by registering voters, eliminating barriers to voting, and promoting civic participation. Folks, all this good work makes our communities and our state stronger. So I want to take a moment to thank the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation and its partners for all the great work that you do to build bridges. Together, we're going to keep working to build the sort of future we want to see for our kids, our communities, and our state. A future that is more just, more equitable, more inclusive, and where every kid and family has the opportunity, resources, and support needed to thrive. With that, once again, thank you for inviting me to share a message, and have a great evening, folks. Take care.
Again, oh, hello? So, can you hear me? What happened here? Can you hear me now? Okay. So now it is my honor, and again, thank you to the governor for his wonderful message. It is my honor to introduce our featured speaker, Professor Khaled Beydoun. Professor Beydoun is a renowned law professor, author, and public intellectual. He currently teaches at the Arizona State University Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law and serves as a scholar in residence at the Berkman Klein Center at Harvard University. Amazing. He is the author of the critically acclaimed book, American Islamophobia, Understanding the Roots and Rise of Fear, co-editor of Islamophobia and the Law, published by Cambridge University Press, and author of The New Crusades, Islamophobia and the Global War on Muslims. You can find those books outside in the silent auction. Please bid on them. The author will sign it for you. His work focuses on constitutional law, national security, surveillance, and civil rights, and has been featured in top law journals, including the UCLA Law Review, Northwestern Law Review, California Law Review, Georgetown Law Journal, and the Harvard Law Review. Professor Beydoun has also shared his expertise with wider audiences through major media outlets such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, BBC, ESPN. He served on the U.S. Commission for Civil Rights in 3 years and was awarded the Open Society Foundation's Equality Fellowship, recognized as one of the 500 most influential Muslims in the world. Amazing. Actually, you can even read more about him in your directory. Please open up and you'll see our featured speakers tonight, so you can read all about our distinguished speaker, Khaled Beydoun. Please welcome Khaled Beydoun.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's great to be here with you all tonight. I'm going to take the microphone off and meander a bit, because I feel as if I give a more effective speech and talk when I can roam around. You know, it's part of our intrinsic sort of like makeup as Arabs to be nomadic. So if I'm moving about and around, I apologize. It's hard for me to sit still, especially, and I mean that metaphorically. It's been really hard for me to sit still during these 730 days of genocide that we've all endured over the course of what is now approaching 2 years. I'm gonna be candid and frank, because I get a sense of when I walk into a room, what a room like this feels like, and I immediately realized when I walked into this room that this is a room that feels very much like home. It's my first time in Milwaukee, let me admit, but as soon as I walked into this room, met Sister Sheila, met Sister Fauzia, met with members of the community earlier on, that I knew that this was the very community that I could speak plainly to and not sort of mince my words and be able to sort of extend the message that I want to extend in a very unfiltered way. I'm going to be frank with you. I wrote a speech, right? I wanted to deliver this speech, and I think that the points in the speech are really important and salient, but I'm not going to give this speech because one thing that's been really hard for me to do during the course of these last 2 years is to put pen to paper and to discipline myself in not sort of delivering a message and deliver a speech that is sincere and that really expresses what it is I want to say while we're entrenched in this genocide. So I'm going to do away with the speech, but inshallah I'll be able to sort of convey some of the central messages from this speech. I'm here today for one reason and one reason alone. The reason I'm here, and let me tell you, over the course of these last 2 years, I've been invited to dozens of events in cities around the world, whether it be Cape Town, South Africa, whether it be Canada, whether it be Milwaukee, or whether it be Mexico. I've had the chance to speak to audiences of all sorts, to communities of all kinds, to nationalities of all stripes, to individuals of all faiths, and every message that I convey has emphatically and incessantly delivered that this is a genocide, not only a genocide, this is the gravest genocide in modern history and the first digital genocide in human history. And I want to deliver the message by saying this: we are not mere observers of this genocide. We are full-fledged participants of this genocide. We've witnessed on a daily basis the morbid scenes that are unfolding on the ground in Gaza. We've seen mothers holding their babies in white sheets seconds after they've lost their babies. We've seen fathers digging their hands into the gravel, into the rubble, looking for children they'll never find. We've seen buildings being decimated shortly after Israeli missiles have destroyed those buildings, invade our phones, and go viral seconds after those buildings fell. We saw last night, and in the last 24 and 48 hours, those 500 brave souls from 44 countries jump onto those ships, old ships in fact, and try to break this criminal siege that the state of Israel has maintained for 2 years. It's been impossible for me to sit still. It's been impossible for me to discipline myself to deliver a speech constrained by white sheets and black words, limited to 4 corners of a single page. So I'm going to do what I think is best and what I think aligns with the spirit of the WMCF and convey a message that comes directly from the heart. I'm going to do a couple of things during my talk, and whoever is the MC, I'm a law professor. I'm a constitutional law professor. I'm not sure what the Constitution means these days, especially with this authoritarian monster in office, right? The Constitution may be extinct very shortly, I'm not sure. But please signal to me when my time is up. We're long-winded, us professors are, so please tell me to shut up when it's time for me to shut up. But I want to share a couple of stories, and what I want to do during the course of my talk is uplift some of the Palestinian giants and icons that came before us. And the first one I want to uplift is Hassan Kanafani. Who knows who Hassan Kanafani is? Hassan Kanafani wrote that everything can be robbed and stolen. Your land, your home, your loved ones, your very bodies can be stolen. But the one thing that can't be stolen is a solid conviction and commitment to a love for a cause. And we're all joined here today for a love for Palestine, a love for Palestine, and a love to see a free Palestine that is sovereign, that holds full-fledged self-determination. Moving forward, these peace plans that these genocidal enablers are pushing forward are oxymoronic. There's nothing peaceful about them. How could a country that has underwritten the genocide for 730 days, funded it at every extent, and the brother, the host Monis, said it very well, bipartisan commitment, whether it's Biden or Trump, elephants or donkeys, pun intended. Democrats and Republicans fully invested in this genocide. There can't be any peace, whether it's a moratorium on fighting or firing, an end to starvation, until we see a free Palestine. That is the peace that I want to see. And inshallah, that is the peace that we will see in this lifetime. I've had the good fortune to be invited by many organizations, or again, around the world, and I apologize if I'm loud. I'm from Detroit and I'm Arab, and that combination makes me extra loud, and you guys will see that a second time when Sister Rashida comes onto the stage. We're loud and unapologetic at every corner and every room we walk into. We're not going to silence and mince our words. One of my heroes, author Chinua Achebe, wrote a brilliant book called Things Fall Apart. He wrote, "Until the lions have their own historian's history of the hunt, will always glorify the hunter." What he meant by that is that imperial and ethnic cleansing genocidal history is intended to erase us. But we are living in a moment right now, 730 days into a genocide, where we're seeing a rise of new lions, Muslim lions, Palestinian lions, American lions, Latino lions, black lions, Jewish lions, rising up against this establishment and saying no more to genocide. We see that in real time on a rolling basis on social media, where the fear that once gripped young people, elected officials, politicians and pundits, people on the news. Yes, even Piers Morgan is changing his tune right now, right? So it's funny. He always invites me on his show, but I don't want to go on his show because I still haven't forgiven him for asking that one question over and over again: do you condemn Hamas? Trying to paint us into a corner to say something that'll get us in trouble. He was entrapping Muslims in real time online. But we're seeing a major shift and a major tidal wave of pro-Palestinian sentiment unfold in an unprecedented fashion, because people are no longer afraid. People are roaring against the legacy media lies and the political propaganda that's been fed to people for generations. So if there's any young people in this room who have been part of an encampment, please give them a round of applause. If there are any elected officials in this room, in addition to Sister Rashida, who have rose up and spoken truth to power, please give them a round of applause. And I say this, and I don't mean to say it tritely, I mean it fully honestly, that we are in the midst of a political, intellectual, spiritual revolution at this juncture. We are sitting at a very important and critical crossroads, not only in Arab or Palestinian or Muslim history or American history, but in fact human history. You see the groundswell around the world, from South Africa to Spain, from Colombia all the way to Korea, where people, real people, manpower and woman power, are rising up by the millions and the billions, holding up Palestinian flags, because it is the right thing to do, and the moral truth that we occupy, and the people see that. We are living between this very momentous shift. Now, the reason organizations like WMCF mean a great deal to me, and look, when I walked into this room, I was floored, right? Because it felt like a wedding. I felt like I was underdressed. It felt too fancy an occasion, kind of above my tax bracket in many ways, right? But this is their first gala. This is their first event. So congratulate them for holding an event of this kind. And when I read, I've been traveling like almost every weekend when I'm not teaching, and my wife's really angry with me about that, but that's a story for a different day. But the reason I accepted this invitation, because I fundamentally believe that all change, all sustainable revolutions, we've seen revolutions come and pass. We've seen past protests and movements fade into history. But the lasting, sustainable, resilient revolutions all begin locally. They all begin locally. If we're going to mother change in this country, it has to be done locally. And organizations like this one, like the WMCF, are the spearheads for sustainable revolutions. And look, you don't got to applaud them, don't applaud me. And I want to say this. And the brother earlier said, donate to this organization. I don't want you to donate to this organization. Don't get mad yet, sister. I'm gonna clarify. I don't want you to donate. Donate is too weak a word. Donate is too emaciated a verb. You have to invest in this organization. You have to invest in this institution. Not because it benefits the institution, but the institution collaterally and residually enables us as a community to be uplifted, to defend our young people. Youth empowerment is critical to the organization. And it was music to my ears as an academic. While I'm still an academic, they've been trying to fire me, but they've had a hard time doing that. Alhamdulillah, I got tenure. But the sister said something really critical, and it goes back to the point I brought up earlier from Achibe of writing our own history, right? For a long time, us Muslims in the room know how media outlets, how textbooks, how headlines have misrepresented us for far too long. Guys like white, no offense to white men in the room, but it was always white guys on CNN and Fox News speaking on behalf of Islam and Muslims. My hero, Edward Said. Who knows Edward Said? Palestinian intellectual giant. Edward Said is the very reason I do what it is I do today. I remember reading Orientalism for the first time as an 18-year-old, and he wrote, I am an Oriental, writing back at the Orientalists who for so long thrived upon our silence. When I read those words, it felt like a command. It felt like a dictate. It provided me with a roadmap of what it is I wanted to do with my life, and I wanted to fill those voids on media outlets, academic spaces, where we were being dehumanized as Arab, as Muslims, as people of color, brown and black people, that we can craft and curate our own stories. This is what this organization is doing as a think tank. You heard her, producing statistics, innovative research, original intellectual product that reclaims our narrative from ominous and nefarious hands that look to dehumanize us. So invest in this organization. Once you've invested once, invest again. And once you've invested twice, invest 3 times, because that investment is an investment in you, your family, your children, your schools, your community, your masajid. These organizations, local organizations, are the cornerstones of our communities. National organizations matter, but they matter less and they matter secondary to local organizations. Look, I would be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of things before I jumped off stage. How much more time do I got? 5 minutes? Okay, good. I can do what I want to do in that time. They say Arab are bad with time, but I'm going to try to demystify that stereotype right now. Look, this genocide is deeply personal to me on a range of fronts. Let me share a couple of stories to really put a portrait of what this genocide has meant to me, and I'm sure many people in this room can empathize with it. I have not been able to do anything for these last 730 days remotely fun or personal or tied to a hobby, because every waking moment, the first thing I do in the morning is read news, make a post, go on a news outlet. I've been entirely entrenched by this genocide for a myriad of reasons. 4 days into this genocide, I was in Washington, D.C. I was giving a talk at a local law school over there, and I went to bed at 11 p.m. I was texting with a good friend of mine by the name of Issam Abdullah, who was a journalist for a Lebanese news outlet called El Mayadeen. Some of you might have followed their news. At 11:30, I finally sent a final DM to Issam. We were talking about where this genocide may be going, whether it would spill over into Lebanon, into other places. I sent a range of messages back and forth to Isam, and we regularly kept in touch because he was somebody who was on the ground and whose insight I really valued. I developed a lot of relationships with people in Gaza, people in Lebanon and the West Bank over the course of the years because of my work. I woke up that morning at 4:30 a.m., because I wasn't sleeping much during those days, to a news headline on Al Jazeera English that read, and it felt absurd, it felt dystopian, it felt like something out of a Black Mirror episode, that Lebanese journalist Issam Abdullah had been assassinated. The same person that I was speaking to only hours earlier, I learned about his murder, his assassination, by way of a news media headline. And as soon as that happened, I knew that this, and don't call it a war. If you call it a war, I'm going to fight you. It's a genocide. It's a genocide. A war presumes symmetry, equality, two national armies vying against each other. I knew at that moment when Issam was killed and the 250 other journalists killed after him that this genocide was unlike anything we've seen before. It reminded me of my childhood living in Lebanon during the war, driving down to the Jnub, South Lebanon with my father when Lebanon was occupied, having to pass through checkpoints. A lot of us know what that feels like in this room. And seeing Israeli flags on either side of the road, it reminded me of the sound of Israeli jets soaring above our apartment building. It reminded me of the shrill sound of death that encircled us. It reminded me of having to huddle with masses, my mother, my sister, my neighbors, my family members in bomb shelters. It reminded me of going to school the next day and looking to my right and my left and seeing missing students who were killed in that war. It is a deeply personal, deeply familiar, deeply intimate genocide that I knew once as a child. And because of that familiarity on a range of fronts, I knew that I had to do everything and anything I could to fight it, with every part of my fiber to fight it. Whether that meant speaking or posting or protesting or donating, I had to do everything in my power to fight it. I want to leave you with the words of one of my heroes, Mahmoud Darwish, who wrote a brilliant piece in 1983 called Silence in Gaza. And I want to leave you with this message before reading his words, that if the people of Gaza, who have fought at every step, today is Jum'ah and Jum'ah Mubarak, we see every Jum'ah in Gaza, sisters and brothers collecting around decimated masajid, where the minarets are toppled and falling above their heads, praying, fighting with faith, fighting with conviction, never silent. If they are not silent in the midst of genocide, how can we be silent? Darwish wrote, what is beautiful about Gaza is that our voices do not reach it, nothing distracts it, nothing takes its fist from the enemy's face, not the forms of the Palestinian state. We will establish, whether on the eastern side of the moon or the western side of Mars when it is explored. Gaza is devoted to rejection, hunger and rejection, thirst and rejection, displacement and rejection, torture and rejection, siege and rejection, death and rejection. Enemies might triumph over Gaza. The storming sea might triumph over an island. They might chop down all of its trees. They might break its bones. They might implant tanks on the insides of its children and women. They might throw it into the sea, sand or blood. But it will not repeat and say yes to invaders. There is no silence from Gaza, so there must be no silence from us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
We hope you, can you all hear me? Okay, it sounded a little quiet to me. But again, can we give another round of applause for Professor Beydoun, please? And I think I speak for everyone. We are also happy that you went off script. We really felt it, alhamdulillah. We hope you are enjoying your dinner. And we are excited to share a special video that highlights the incredible work of the Wisconsin Muslim Civic Foundation. So let's take a moment to watch and celebrate the impact that they are making in our community. Oh, we're not doing it? Okay, please continue to enjoy your dinner, inshallah. All right.